all starts with these 10 digits here. You got these 10 digits here. You're doing better than most people. So I was trying to think of video ideas for today, and I wanted to give you guys something really, really valuable, a practical habit that you can do that would have incredible rate on return. And I was looking at many of the self-improvement habits, meditations, things like that you would have heard of. But I think writing has been by far the thing that has separated me from being tied to a 9-to-5 job and living life on my own terms. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. So many of you might have a kind of knee-jerk reaction to that and think, oh, it's very, very simple and very, very trite, and how on earth could it make such a big difference in your life? Or it might sound completely obvious, but I promise you, by the end of this video, that you're going to learn how the simplest things are often the most potent. So now, writing serves as a great induction into kind of creating content online because it's got very little in the way of upfront costs. I think there's a romantic quality to YouTube, but not a lot of people think about, or they do think about rather, the investment they have to make in a camera, into a nice microphone, into maybe an editor editing their videos. So that kind of puts people off immediately. But with writing, anybody can do it. If you have access to a computer, you can start writing. You've got pen and paper, you can write. So there's really no barriers to making that decision. And also, if you're a little bit cautious about putting yourself on camera, that can also be a deterrent to creating visual content, video content. So yeah, there isn't much friction to start off with, very light on your wallet, and you're not putting yourself too far out there. But then it comes back to the original question, the original problem that we have. How can we monetize this? How can we make money online? And hopefully I'm going to share with you why and how I'm in that privileged situation at the moment. Now, I'll tell you a funny story about how I kind of originally got started, and if you're on my email list or if you have been following me for a long time, you would know that I first started off on WordPress. I created a blog, a holistic health blog, because I wanted to appeal to kind of everybody, all inclusive, and that was an absolute failure. I think I blogged 2 blogs every week for a whole year, and I made like 220 subscribers. The original thought going into this was, I'm going to have so much traffic coming to my blog, so many people are reading my blog, that I can pay advertisers to put some of their products on my blog, and that's how I would make money online. But rookie error. So most people saw this, and I to a certain degree, as a catastrophic failure, but it was a good learning opportunity for me. I first learned the key trick in finding a platform that is your target audience. I wanted to speak to men about self-improvement, and WordPress is primarily a female domain with middle-aged white women, so I missed my target by a considerable amount there. But then I decided, hey, why not give Twitter a shot? It's more on the idea. Ideas are a little bit more free-flowing on there, and I think people are a little bit more open to those ideas and self-improvement, and it's more of a masculine kind of domain. And just under 2 years later and 80,000 followers later, it was a good bet. It was a good move. Now, why would you really give a fuck about followers anyway? I mean, beyond the clout. I mean, the clout is nice sometimes. I won't. I'll say that. But one of the benefits of having a large audience, having that social proof, establishing yourself as an authority figure somewhat, is that a percentage of that large following is going to be invested financially in you, and you're building trust, you're building rapport with your audience, that hopefully some of the free information that you're putting out in forms of video, in forms of tweets, in forms of emails that I send, are actually making a positive impact on their lives. And I want, and hopefully I'm getting people to the point where my free stuff is having such a big impact in their life that they're thinking, fuck, if this free shit is having such a big impact on me, what the hell's in this paid stuff? So that's kind of what I'm trying to convey when I'm giving all this free stuff so freely, really. But I also want to make a big difference to you guys' lives, and it's always heartwarming to hear your stories and the messages that you send me when a tweet or a video resonates with you in a particular way. But going back to the point, I think often, and I'm guilty of this as well, that we're naive to the fact that or we get this imposter syndrome and thinking that, you know, we're not good enough. How could anybody over the internet actually pay me money to create things that, you know, I have insights in, or you know, different interpretations on. And we don't really, we put ourselves down in that way, and that's one of the biggest barriers to you actually making your content and making, let's say, getting the financial benefits from doing what you love to do. In fact, and again, I'm not sure if I repeated this on a previous video, but I created a testosterone optimization guide for free. That was the first product I ever did, and I was just like, here you go, have it for free. If you want that testosterone guide, there's a link in the description below. You can download it for free. And some guys paid for it anyway. It was on a different platform there. It was a Gumroad platform, which allows the consumer to pay what they want or pay what they think is fair for the product. And I just gave it out for free, thinking that I'm just happy to get like emails from my email list and give people, you know, good insights. But I think that day I made like $10 online, and there's no feeling like making money online, especially when something is free. And that changes the game for guys, and it did for me. And you start thinking a little bit more like, well, you know, if I can spend a little bit more time developing something that addresses a real problem, then I can exchange that, you know, information, that tailored information, that step-by-step easy information for money. It's all about a value exchange. And if you're addressing a real problem, you can charge for it. But one of the other things that I wanted to mention about writing, which would be an easier sell, especially if you're really starting to cultivate an audience, is marketing opportunities. So a lot of people who reach out who have different offers, like coaches selling fitness packages, or email marketers offering email marketing, and they'll say, look, Joseph, you've got a really big audience here. I'm sure that a lot of these guys are business owners. They have their own bits and pieces in the way, and I would love for you to promote my service so I can maybe close a couple more clients. And you can imagine, you know, what you can charge for access to a large audience if you have one. So that, again, is another really, really important factor to consider when you're building an audience and, you know, creating content all from just writing. Remember, guys, this is all from writing tweets. I enjoy making the video aspect of it. I think it gives me a little bit more depth and dimension, and I enjoy making the videos. But my main audience is on Twitter, and it's an anonymous account. I mean, you don't, again, if you're scared about putting yourself out there, you can make it anonymous. You don't have to have your face. Masculine Theory doesn't have any kind of connotations with me on Twitter. I mean, it does with here, because it's me talking to you guys, and I want to develop a relationship and rapport. But there are many examples I can think of. A couple guys I'm quite close with who are anonymous accounts. They have like sculpture accounts of Alexander the Great and things like that, and equally they're cultivating a big audience through the writings, through the insight that they get through, you know, reading, maybe even reading comments, blogs, emails, lectures, watching TV, getting insights from there. So just on that point, it's good to also be mindful of what you're consuming. If you're consuming poor content, then you're going to produce poor content. So it's about looking in the places that you're interested in, trying to find genuine value, and finding your personal insights to share with the world, and also making connections between other pieces of content, and then again, you know, creating a synthesis of the two. So guys, I really hope that this video gives you or makes you think very, very deeply on the fact that you don't need the fancy equipment to get started. You don't need to buy a $1,000 camera, or buy editing software or things like that. You just need a free Twitter account. Some of the guys I know in the circle are clearing 5K, 10K a month very, very easily without even showing their face, just by writing, just by cultivating an audience, just by marketing it to other coaches, and like I said previously, putting an offer in front of them which addresses a genuine problem that people want solved. And it all starts with these 10 digits here. You got these 10 digits here, you're doing better than most people. So I really hope this gives you the motivation to start a Twitter account, and hit me up on Twitter as well. Send me a DM with your new account, and let me know how it's going. I'd love to see your messages, what your branding's like, what you're trying to offer, what you're trying to promote, and yeah, man, let's take over. So I hope this video gives you a little bit of motivation, something to meditate on very, very deeply, And gentlemen, if you enjoyed the content, if you subscribe to anything which I've said, then you can subscribe to me, and I'll bring you something else very soon. You take care now.